And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, then go to town and stay past midnight at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer. I need somebody with arms strong enough to wrestle a calf and yet gentle enough to deliver his own grandchild. Somebody to call hogs, tame cantankerous machinery, come home hungry, have to wait lunch until his wife's done feeding visiting ladies, then tell the ladies to be sure and come back real soon and mean it. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to sit up all night with a newborn colt and watch it die, and dry his eyes and say, maybe next year. I need somebody who can shape an axe handle from a persimmon sprout, shoe a horse with a hunk of car tire, who can make harness out of hay, wire, feed sacks, and shoe scraps, who planting time and harvest season will finish his 40-hour week by Tuesday noon, and then paining from tractor back put in another 72 hours. So God made a farmer. It had to be somebody who'd plow deep and straight and not cut corners. Somebody to seed, weed, feed, breed, and rake and disc and plow and plant and tie the fleece and strain the milk and replenish the self-feeder and finish a hard week's work with a 5-mile drive to church. Somebody who'd bail a family together with the soft, strong bonds of sharing, who would laugh and then sigh and then reply with smiling eyes when his son says that he wants to spend his life doing what Dad does. Take me down, so God made a farmer. Take me down to the little white church.
Antenna TV is TV how it was meant to be. It's where friends are family, and family is everything. Antenna TV.
It's the Long Live the Rebellion Tour, featuring Disciple, Rapture Ruckus, and Children 18-3. The Long Live the Rebellion Tour, Wednesday, October 25th, 7 p.m. at the Palace Theater in Syracuse. Tickets available at itickets.com or by phone 1-800-965-9324. Don't be caught off guard by the cooler weather this year. Get your home ready by visiting Pine Lake Stoves in Caroga Lake. Stop by and browse our large selection of wood, pellet, and gas stoves, as well as inserts in our expansive showroom. Or call us at 518-835-8900. Pine Lake Stoves, 1087 State Highway 10 in Caroga Lake, making your world a warmer place.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
This episode of American Family Farmer takes us on the back roads outside of Little Falls to a family farm called Insight Dairy.
My name is Natalie Rogers, and I live on a 500-cow dairy, and our farm name is called Insight Dairy, LLC.
We talked to Jessica Fredericks, who co-owns the farm with her husband Chris, about the challenges of running a dairy farm.
We have a commitment to farming, not in the sense of being here working with you all the time,
right,
but we really believe in the local family farmer. We know a lot are distressed. I mean, a lot of farmers right now are being pushed to the limit, right?
Yes. Yeah, right now milk prices are just, they make you cringe when you open your milk check, because you're just like, there's just money that's not there anymore.
Right.
Because you can never, forecast what it's really going to be. It's just a crystal ball, and as much as you hope that it's always going to go up, 9 times out of 10, like right these past couple months, it's not happening.
You have a lot of, I don't know if we talked about this on camera, but you have county regulations, state, federal, EPA, DEC, U.S. Agriculture Department. Am I missing anything? Did I say USCDA?
That's enough, isn't it?
No, but I mean, you probably have more. Now, taxes.
Payroll. I mean, there's so much guidelines and paperwork that are behind
how
the
much
scenes
of
that
your,
you don't see.
How much, if you could think out, like, say, an average month, how many days of that month do you think you could actually clock on the clock of having to take care of paperwork?
Paperwork?
Or does somebody do it for you?
It's probably a week. If you had to sit down.
A week, a month?
Of just
so
paperwork.
1 week of all your time is paperwork.
Yeah.
All right, we're here at Insight Farms with Brad. Brad, you're the herdsman here, right? Of quite a few cows. How many are under your care?
Right now we have about 1,100 head total. There's 980 going through the parlor on a daily basis 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So there's another fair 125 or 130 or so that are in the dry cow pen waiting for calving.
Now, did you get raised on a family farm, or have you learned on the job training, or how have you learned to be a herdsman?
Well, I always had an interest in the cows growing up. My dad milked about 50 cows about 45 minutes from here. I started out of college working on a farm for a gentleman. Kind of got some more experience under my belt, and then I did my own thing for 15 years. Milked my own cows, and then in January of 15, Chris and Jess called me up on the phone one night and said, "Hey, we're looking at creating a position. Want to know if this is something you'd be interested in?" And honestly, at that time, I said no. And then I got thinking about things and thought maybe it wouldn't be so bad. So I came and talked to him and felt pretty good about the talks, and ended up making the move in March of 15. And I've been here since then.
A lot of your work is done in front of a computer, you told me. And in that computer, you have all the data on these cows because of the device they have on there, the bracelet or whatever?
Well, that's one of the things that's on the computer, but the main thing is the dairy comp information. It gives their breeding information, it gives their milk production information. Anytime the cow is sick, I enter it in the computer. Anything I do to a cow, I enter it in that computer. So that tells me anything that could go wrong history-wise on each cow. And without that system, it's pretty tough to figure out why, say, 3116 might have been sick back in March. I can go into that computer and see that right away. It just helps to minimize problems down the road. It helps keep track of things and it also organizes it into certain lists. Our dry-off list, our to-breed list, the different things that we have to look for, our foot trimming list. We do all these things during the week.
So it's sounding like you have spreadsheets, charts.
Yes.
Butter, fat content, or whatever you got to do with milk, everything, right?
Yeah. There's all kinds of things. I mean, there's the cows to be sold list. There's the cows to calve list. There's the cows to trim their feet. That changes every day, and that computer is key to keeping all of that organized. And when I took this job, I never thought that I'd be on the computer as much as I am. But without it, I'd hate to think of my job being any easier, because it sure wouldn't be.
When the weather outside brings a chill, warm yourself and your family with winter heating products and supplies from Early Farm and Hardware in Madison. Browse their selection of coal, pellet, wood, and electric stoves and heaters. Early's carries the right boot for the job with brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, Carolina, and more. Find the tools you need to get the job done. Early Farm and Hardware, just east of Madison on Route 20.
TV that's easy.
Just push this button and the set goes on.
TV that's free.
Feast your eyes on 24 inches of livid color.
TV for everyone.
The United States and Canada maybe, but not the whole world.
It's Antenna TV.
A situation like this happens once in a lifetime.
TV how it was meant to be.
Tom mornings. The most classic rock every hour, all day. 92.7 FM. The Drive.
Make Sloppy Joe's Pizza in the New Hartford Shopping Center your new lunch and dinner destination. Grab a pizza and wings for the game, a speedy, or a roll-up for lunch, or a quick family dinner that everyone can agree with. Get home-style food at a great price. As always, their sauce and dough are made in-house every day. Check them out on Facebook, Sloppy Joe's Pizza, in the New Hartford Shopping Center right next to Nicky Doodles. Don't be caught off guard by the cooler weather this year. Get your home ready by visiting Pine Lake Stoves in Caroga Lake. Stop by and browse our large selection of wood, pellet, and gas stoves, as well as inserts in our expansive showroom. Or call us at 518-835-8900. Pine Lake Stoves, 1087 State Highway 10 in Caroga Lake, making your world a warmer place.
You said this is a family-run farm. Your husband, it's from your husband's side of the family, right?
Yeah, so...
Tell me a little bit about the grassroots, if you could.
So the farm started back in the 50s with Chris's grandfather. He bought this place, and him and his wife had a nice little dairy farm. And then there's 3 sons, and 2 were involved with the farm, and the other one, like I was saying earlier, in the wintertime they started a snowmobile business because in the winter, you know, crop work dies off, there's not much to do. So they had a snowmobile business, which the 3rd son took that over with. And then in 2008, Chris purchased his uncle's share of the farm because his grandfather had passed away. So it was his dad and his uncle. Chris purchased his uncle's share. So him and his dad formed a partnership in 2008. In 2009, I came and took out a loan and purchased 100 cows of my own, and we redesigned a barn. And so if you're walking around, you'll see there's cows with pink tags. Those were my cows. And then there's cows with yellow tags, which were Chris and his father's cows.
Right.
So, and we installed a second bulk tank. So all my cows' milk went into that tank. I had my own separate milk check and everything like that.
Really?
Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
And now it's all together?
Now everything's together, yep. Through FSA, Farm Service Agency, I took out a beginner farmer loan for $300,000, and I purchased 100 cows, and I had to write up a business plan. So I bought the feed from Chris and his father and rented barn space and skid steer use and mixer wagon use. So we had to make a business plan. And
you presented the business plan?
Yeah.
Good for you.
To them, and they gave me a loan as they looked at it as a minority, a woman, beginning farmer.
Sure.
So it worked out pretty well. I paid my loan off, and now Chris and I are a partnership, and we purchased my father-in-law's share.
That's a nice chapter of the story.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just turned 30, Chris is 33, and we'll just keep going.
Mm-hmm. You said you had a stepdaughter.
My stepdaughter, Natalie, she's 12.
She loves the farm?
She does. I got her into showing cows. My husband had no idea really what that entailed.
Yep.
So we go all summer and show cows. We actually have a show on Saturday. It's her last one.
Where's that going to be?
Over at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds.
Okay.
So we do a lot of youth shows for her. I don't show much anymore, but I'll take her wherever she wants to go as long as she's going to do the work and get them ready. And it's been like 2 years ago now. We had a cow actually have triplets. She had triplets. So that was pretty cool. The first 2 came out, and she went and laid down in the calving pen, and I'm like, what's going on here? And all of a sudden there's a 3rd one. So there were 2 girls and a boy, and unfortunately they weren't able, there was no way we could, no, they all lived.
Oh, they did?
We weren't able to use them for breeding.
Oh, yeah.
So our shop guy actually bought them, and he raised them. And he called them Mr. Chris, Jess, and Natalie. That's what he named them. So we've had the triplet experience. We've had
storms,
major flooding before. A couple years ago we had some flood, and lost some cornfields.
Did you get hit with Sandy and it leftover rain from Sandy?
Yeah, it was about that year. We have some land down on the river flats,
Yeah.
so it came up out of the river and we lost 40 acres of corn. But
That's a big hit.
yeah, we do a lot with crop insurance. That helps to protect ourselves on that side.
Yeah. That's good.
We got married here on the farm.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we had actually where our parlor was, that all this used to be a pasture. So the year we were getting married, we turned it into a cornfield, and where the parlor was, I picked rock for weeks to make it so we could get grass to grow, and we had a big tent and 300 people, and we had a nice wedding.
And how many years ago was that?
6 years ago now.
Well, congratulations.
Pretty
6
quick.
years marriage. That's a
Yeah.
long time at today's standard to be married.
I know, right? That's
Yeah,
what I
like
said.
a record.
Well, we're here in the dairy parlor, you'd call it,
Yeah.
right, officially?
Yep.
And what type of system are you working with here that it's actually taking 50 cows at once and giving them a safe, relaxing platform to get milked, right?
Yeah, so this is a Dairy Master 50 cow rotary parlor. It's just a year old here in July, so we're actually eased right into it now and making it more efficient for milking.
Okay. And how many does it take how many times you milk a day?
So we milk 3 times a day.
Yeah. And how many do you have actually doing the milking? I know they don't actually milk the cows in a way, right? You explain
Yeah.
what I'm talking about
Yep,
here.
yep. So we have 3 guys that will actually run the rotary during milking. You got a guy that will kind of get the cows to come on. He'll put on the sanitizer and then strip them. The second guy will dry them off and then attach the machine. And then on the back side, once they're all done milking, that last guy will put on an iodine dip as another sanitizer. And then there's a 4th guy that's always pushing cows to the parlor.
All right, so we're making the cows nervous.
They're just not used to people standing here.
I know.
That's all. You're
There's
all right.
an old saying, they're like an old cow looking at a new fence.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like the new fence
You're the
right now.
new
What are they
guy.
going to do with me?
Yeah.
So how many total Holstein do you have? I mean, that's predominantly your
Yeah.
all Holstein?
Yep. So right now we have about 1,076 cows, and then we milk about 975.
How many?
975 cows.
Okay. And do these go in bulk tanks still like they used to in the day? Do you have trailers parked out
Most
there?
farms do have a bulk tank where you would pump the milk in, cool it down, and then the tractor trailer would come and pick it up. But actually, we do not. We go through a cooling system and then directly onto the tractor
The tank,
trailer.
right?
Yep.
So
right
that's
onto
what
the
that
trailer.
was out there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's what
Yeah.
I guess. I get to score 1 point,
Yep,
I guess.
that's right.
Yeah. All right, so explain to me what the cows are going to do normally, because I'm making them a little nervous. Tell us what's going on here.
Okay, so the cow is going to come on. She just came from her barn, so she's coming in, and then they stop at this gate because that allows time for that cow to get on before this will open, so that they're not pushing each other or rushing it. So once she's on, she loads directly on. Once the cow loads onto the rotary, this guy is applying a sanitizer, and then he is stripping each teat to make sure, to check for any abnormal milk, and then he reapplies the sanitizer. And once that's done, she rotates over, just keeps going to the next guy, where he's gonna dry it off, dry each teat, and then he'll attach the milking unit.
When I milked cows in the 60s, they would just intuitively know that I was there and it was time for them to go to the bathroom for some reason.
Yeah. It's like
They
they
would
just
come
know.
in and go to the bathroom. I don't know. I know it didn't happen a lot, but or one would urinate and then
Yeah.
the tail get going and up in
Yes,
my
they do.
face. But your cows are so relaxed. I don't see them destroying your property.
Yeah,
line.
no, they seem to be relaxed. I mean, usually when they get up from their stall and then they're making their way here to the parlor, they'll leave that mess back there. So for the most part, but once they get on this, we feed grain. So once they come on and the computer IDs them, the grain automatically drops in from the feeder, and then they eat that as they go around.
I see that. So they, like one cow needs a little more mineral or less grain or whatever. You can
Yeah.
tell by the content of the milk.
Yeah,
You
we,
test them.
Yeah, so all our cows are grouped. So like all the 2-year-olds would be in the same group because they get a different ration. So once they come on here, the grain that they get is is allotted for what their ration calls for. So our older cows, you know, sometimes they actually will get a little bit more than the younger ones.
Yeah. So you've been through a few steps. The cow, out of habit, knows that they can only go in when the gate opens.
Yes.
And as long as nothing's bothering them,
they'll
they're
flow
calm,
on
they'll
very
flow on
nicely.
good.
Yeah.
All right, and then the next process is, as they go in, it's reading the tag that says what their feed is.
Their number, their ID number.
Their ID number,
yep.
yeah.
So like it'll come on, her ID is 3059. So a red herd tag as she comes in, and then it drops the green.
Now she's got a nice size bag. Now is that
she's an older
normal
cow.
or is that a normal Holstein?
That's good. Yeah, normal Holstein. Yep. All right, so once the milk goes through the cooling system, it comes out through this hose and then goes directly into the tractor trailer. So every day they take at least one. Every third day they take 2 full
So
ones.
what's milk going for now? 100 pounds.
100 pounds? Not enough.
No. Well, what are they paying?
So right now it's like 18-20.
Yeah.
100 weight.
Yeah.
So.
And the only way that you can stay in farming is you must be good with money management. Research, everything, right? Because there's so much aspect.
So you have to be efficient at what you do.
Yeah.
And then there's no extra money right now to go upgrade a tractor or buy a new piece of equipment. You just make what you have work right now.
When the weather outside brings a chill, warm yourself and your family with winter heating products and supplies from Early Farm and Hardware in Madison. Browse their selection of coal, pellet, wood, and electric stoves and heaters. Early's carries the right boot for the job with brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, Carolina, and more. Find the tools you need to get the job done. Early Farm and Hardware, just east of Madison on Route 20.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Tune in to Heartland for the best in true country music. Relive vintage specials, one-of-a-kind concerts, and country music's earliest videos. Heartland is the heart of country, the only place where you can find country music, country stars, and country lifestyles 24/7. Heartland, the heart of country.
Heartland Country, now on WVVC-TV 40.3.
So these blue collars are actually, it's called a moo monitor.
Moo monitor?
Yes. So this will track her resting time, her rumination, her activity level for if she's coming into a heat cycle and the amount of steps she's taking, it sets it off. So then it will set an alert to our phones.
Every one of these cows, the same thing.
Almost every cow has a moo monitor. Yeah, I wish.
No, what'd you say it was? Like a Nike thing.
Like a Nike Fitbit, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they're a moo monitor.
Moo monitors.
Moo monitor.
And right now this is silage?
This is a balanced ration of corn silage, haylage, grain, and whey.
Josh, before you swing down the hill, I'm going to put the camera guy in the chopper so you can be on TV.
The guys are out, the people working in the field.
They're harvesting right now.
They're harvesting silage, corn.
Corn silage
which
right
is
now.
the whole stalk. They just
Yes, we chop everything.
Do you go into like late October?
No, Saturday.
What? This Saturday you'll be done?
That's the goal. Yep.
With this too?
Because this chopper guy's got to go to another farm. So these alley scrapers drop into the gutter.
Yeah.
And then there's another scraper in the gutter that takes it to a small pit outside. And then we agitate it, and it's pumped underground to our sand settling lane. So from there, we will flush it. And by that, we just take the water off the top of the lagoon and flush it out. And then it's a 310 feet long pad of concrete on a 1% slope. So then that's settling the sand out before it gets out to our lagoon. So therefore, we're not, putting all that sand back in, and we can reclaim it.
Now, as we look around us, and I can feel standing right here, so far, I'm going to tell you something. This has been the coolest spot on the farm.
Oh yeah, it's really nice in here.
You girls have it good here, don't they?
They do. You got cow comfort.
Now, if it works, if you keep your cows comfortable, right? Won't they get pregnant better, or?
Yeah, you're helping with all that stuff as far as their cycles, because then they're not, working to stay cool. You're taking care of that for them. So, and then you'll see heats more often. You'll see cows moving more action that way.
So do you have an idea how many will this house?
This is a 600 cow barn.
600 cows.
Yes, 600 stalls. We try not to overcrowd too much, because if you overcrowd, then a cow can't lay down, can't make milk. Everything's based on cow comfort. So sand beds, these stalls that are in here, they flex, so a cow cannot get stuck in one of these stalls.
Yeah.
So they're not no injuries. And then the fans, lots of access to feed and water.
Hay, straw, paper, newspaper. I've seen farmers use.
There's a big pile at the other end of this barn, and then.
But sand I never heard of, but it sounds like it would be comfortable.
It's like laying on a beach.
When the weather outside brings a chill, warm yourself and your family with winter heating products and supplies from Early Farm and Hardware in Madison. Browse their selection of coal, pellet, wood, and electric stoves and heaters. Early's carries the right boot for the job with brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, Carolina, and more. Find the tools you need to get the job done. Early Farm and Hardware, just east of Madison on Route 20. Make Sloppy Joe's Pizza in the New Hartford Shopping Center your new lunch and dinner destination. Grab a pizza and wings for the game, a speedy, or a roll-up for lunch, or a quick family dinner that everyone can agree with. Get home-style food at a great price. As always, their sauce and dough are made in-house every day. Check them out on Facebook, Sloppy Joe's Pizza, in the New Hartford Shopping Center right next to Nicky Doodles.